Good morning, YouTube. It is the morning, as you can see by my unmade bed. I haven't made that yet, but I figured I would just kind of take you guys through a little bit of my day, and then also touch a little bit at the end of this video about some of my thoughts post-show and kind of what I'm thinking about doing next, because I do have an appointment with my naturopath, and I've been telling myself, so I'm a week post-show, I've been telling myself I really wanted to wait and you know, have that before I kind of made a decision, as there's some things I want to talk to her about. But welcome to the video. Basically kind of how I start my day is, it's kind of weird. I'm very productive the first like hour of the day. So what I do is actually like I'll wake up and like before even like getting up, getting ready, and like, you know, I'll actually get my laptop out and I'll respond to a lot of emails, things that just have come through in the middle of the night, or things that came through last night that I didn't get to, or, you know, work on programming stuff that doesn't require me to be on camera. I'll knock that out, and then I will get up, I'll weigh myself before food and water, and then I'll get ready and start my day, and then usually go do fasted cardio, which is what I'm getting ready to do right now. So welcome to the video. Enjoy. I had some people who asked to see just like what a day in the life looks like. So I'll do my best to kind of capture the day in a nutshell, but I also want to sit down and talk to you guys at the end and kind of let you guys know where my head is at post-show, because there's been a lot on my mind and a lot of just different feelings this past week post-show. So stay tuned for that. And now we go do some fasted cardio. Okay, so going to do my fasted cardio because I love doing fasted cardio. It just starts my day off on such a good note. And I am mixing a little cocktail. So I have PESCIENCE Alphamine, which is their thermogenic, and honestly, this just really helps me to kind of get my heart rate up when I do cardio. And then I have a packet of this Versalite. So they come in these little packets like this, and so it's just electrolytes, but this flavor, black cherry, it is bomb. These are actually both black cherry, so they mix extremely well. So I'm gonna mix these two, shake it up, and go and get in my fasted cardio. All right, I'm actually doing cardio in my apartment this morning. Sometimes I'll walk to the gym because it's only a few blocks away, but I don't quite have time this morning because I have a call very soon. So I'm heading up to the top floor, which is where the gym is at, and I'm going to get on the Stairmaster, and I've got my book. Okay, we successfully finished cardio on the Stairmaster over there. I don't know what it is. Well, actually, no, I do know what it is. Like, just fasted cardio feels so good. It's, I saw an analogy once that it's like the equivalent in the bodybuilding world, or it's the equivalent of like making your bed. You know how people out there will say like, oh, if you make your bed first thing in the morning, you know, you're just, sets you up for a good day. You know, you just feel a little bit better just with that one little task. Same with cardio in the morning. Like, first thing, I find that, you know, there are some days I can't do it first thing in the morning, but it is my preferred time, or it has become my preferred time, just because I feel like it has such a positive impact on the rest of my day. But now I'm gonna run back down to my apartment because I have a call here very soon, and then I have client check-ins. Well, I've already kind of started those this morning, and then I also have an appointment with my naturopathic doctor via Zoom. So I'm actually very excited for that. So I want to show you guys what I'm making really quickly. So I typically make this every morning or like late morning. Doesn't really matter like when I eat it, but in this baggie is psyllium husk powder. I've been getting it from Sprout, so it's basically the same as like psyllium husk. This is just ground finely into a powder. So I have this, and then I also have a little bit of the PESCIENCE chocolate truffle protein and the chocolate greens. So I've mentioned psyllium husk on my channel before. It's just been a while. So what it is basically, it's a kind of, it's basically just fiber. So it's a good source of insoluble and soluble fiber. So I am going to add a tablespoon of this into this little Tupperware, and I'm gonna mix it with water. And what it does is it gets kind of gel-like. So once you put psyllium husk in water, it does kind of form a gel. But what I do is I'm gonna mix a little bit of protein powder and chocolate greens into this as well, and it's kind of like a little sludge. That doesn't sound appealing, but it actually tastes really good. So if you just have the psyllium husk on its own, I mean, you could eat it on its own. It just like, it's not gonna taste like much. You're not gonna taste the best. So that's why I add in a little bit of protein and chocolate greens to make like a little chocolate protein pudding sludge concoction. So I'm gonna mix that all together and I'll show you guys the end product, but basically I take psyllium husk usually at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, and the reason is like I said, it is rich in fiber, insoluble and soluble, so it can be really helpful for just, you know, helping to get your fiber up, making sure your soluble and insoluble fiber ratios are good, and it just, obviously, we love fiber for healthy bowel movements, for healthy digestion, all that jazz. So I'll show you guys how it looks before I add the protein and the chocolate grains. So this is like really hard to do with one hand, but basically I just put the psyllium husk powder in water, and you can see it's very gel-like. So yes, I could very well just spoon this like it is and eat it, but like, that would not be fun. It would not taste that good. So I'm gonna add the protein and the chocolate greens to it, mix this bad boy up, call it my little digestion concoction, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So like I said at the beginning, it honestly doesn't look that good because it's just, the psyllium husk is just so like gel-like. It's really hard to get a smooth consistency, but by adding these two, just a little bit of each, into this, it makes it taste just like super chocolatey. So it's very small, but this is what I typically consume every day, mainly just as a means to get in my psyllium husk. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys, I had a great meeting with my naturopath. Basically, I can't remember if I said earlier, but I have been a little torn out, or I've been a little torn with like what route to take ever since the Tampa Pro a week ago. I've kind of been torn with like, do I keep competing this year? Do I grow the rest of the year and pick it back up next year? Like, what do I do, right? I've kind of been overthinking things, which I think it's okay to overthink something like this. It's a big decision, but basically I wanted to meet with my naturopath today and just really see kind of like where things are, like especially how my adrenals look, because when you are in prep for so long, I mean, I've been in prep since December, you know, prep takes a toll on your body. Prep, like there's nothing inherently healthy about prep. However, there are smarter ways to do it. I would say I've definitely taken a smarter approach to it. And something that was really cool is she said my adrenals have only downregulated like 10% within the past like 4 months, which is really cool considering I've had to push harder than I've ever pushed before in prep. And to see that my adrenals haven't downregulated that much or decreased that much is really cool. So I didn't really get to find out too much information today, because what I need to do as a smart athlete is I need to go and get my blood work. I haven't gotten a full female hormone panel since, let me think, January. So it's been like 7-8 months. So I definitely need to get a full panel to just kind of see where my baseline is right now, post, 7 months of prep. And then I want to look at that, take that to her, and for us to really decide, okay, what we need to work on, and kind of how things are looking, right, before I make a discrete decision. So I'm really very interested to get that back. I am really, like, I will never, ever, ever, like right now, I am not claiming to be an expert in any, like, blood work related things or any functional medicine. Like, that is not my scope by any means. However, it really intrigues me, and I feel like I'm learning a lot, and I'm just, I don't know, when I like something and I'm curious about something, especially something that's going to make me a better athlete, but also a better coach, I do a lot of research. So I'm like in my research era right now. I'm just like researching and just gathering as much information as I possibly can about so many like different things, just through kind of the phase I'm going through right now. So I need to get my blood work done, and then I think I'll be able to make a better decision about, am I going to compete again this year or wait till next year, kind of weighing out the pros and the cons, which I'll talk a little bit more about in the end of this video. But that was a great appointment. I enjoyed it. So now I'm gonna go train. I'm gonna grab some video clips for you guys, and I'll probably do like a voiceover and put those in the next part of the video. So this isn't the full lower body workout that I did, but I did catch a couple of clips from this workout. So I trained at a gym I don't normally train at, and they have all these super cool glute machines. And this was like a reverse hip thrust or standing hip thrust machine, and oh, it got the glutes so good. It looks kind of weird, but it was amazing. This next machine is also super cool. I've never used something like this. Essentially it's a 45-degree back extension, but there's actually like a cable pulley that you can see is adding resistance. So I really felt this one good. This was
it was just so fun to play around with some of these pieces of like glute equipment that I don't normally have access to. And then in the next clip is my friend Brooke, and I'll talk to you guys about some cues to feel the 45-degree back extension, just because I know that this is a movement that a lot of people tend to struggle with.
All right, you guys, check out this machine. It's super cool. There's like a cable. It's a 45-degree back extension. And watch how Brooke is not coming all the way up. And this is putting more tension on her glutes as opposed to her low back. Really squeezing at the top and thinking about squeezing your hip bones into the pad to get full glute engagement.
So moving along to this super cool like single leg press machine. I love doing unilateral leg presses or single leg presses just with like the normal leg press, but this one was super cool because as you can see, it's like made for a single leg variation of the leg press. But I kept the emphasis in my heel on this so I could really target the glute over the quad, making this more of a glute dominant exercise rather than a quad dominant exercise. So that's the key there, is really emphasizing the weight in my heel. And then lastly, the last clip I got was on one of my favorite glute machines. This is actually called the Gluteator, so it's kind of similar to like just a standard abduction machine, but as you can see, it's a little bit different in the plane at which I'm abducting. It's so, I would say fun. Fun isn't the right word, but I love it just because it targets like the abductor and like the glute so flipping well. So I love doing this as like a burnout. As you can see, I was definitely feeling it. So I hope you guys enjoyed some of those glute training clips.
Okay, very random clip, but on today's episode of What Did Lexi Air Fry, I just air fried mushrooms. These are baby Bella mushrooms. They were on sale at Publix. I haven't had mushrooms in a while, but I love mushrooms. And I decided to just air fry them, and like honestly just for like 6-7 minutes at 375, and it's like the exact same as if I were to saute them, only a lot less work. So a little hack there. I'm trying to get in a little bit more variety. So like for a long time I've been sticking with very like similar veggies, so I'm trying to add in a little bit of variety. So these are on sale, but also I haven't had mushrooms in a while and I love them. So air fry your mushrooms, people, because it's just like sauteing them, only a lot less work. I am also going to add some of these lupini beans to, so I just air fried the mushrooms, but I'm gonna add those, some lupini beans, and I'm having some soft boiled eggs, and I'm adding those in a bowl all together. But these Italian snacking lupini beans, so this company actually sent me some of their products, and that's where I got these from. So this is the company. I'll put their Instagram below. They have a ton of different products, but this is one of them, and I have to say the macros on these bad boys are absolutely amazing. They are smaller, so like 15 beans is not a huge serving size, but 1 gram of fat, 3 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein per 15 beans, plus 3 grams of fiber, which is actually a pretty decent amount for the serving size. They look just like they do in this picture. Like I said, 15 beans is like not that much, but I've been having like a serving, or honestly more than a serving, usually like 2 servings a day of these because I have a couple bags of them, but it's a really good way for me to just kind of sneak in fiber. But yeah, I like them. They're not super flavorful, I'll be very honest, but for a low calorie snack, or just like adding a little bit of texture to, like, I don't know, a bowl of some sort like I am, I really like them. Okay friends, so I just wanted to do a quick little like sit down and make this my outro clip. So actually, like just moments before I sat down to record this, I did get my blood work scheduled. So I've got that done, got that secured. I'm also going to do, I forget what it's called. It's like an HTMI test or something. I can't remember. It's in my phone. But it's somewhere in my phone because I'm going to order a test. Essentially what it does is it tests for like your minerals and if you have any mineral imbalances. So my naturopath really recommended that I do that post just how long I've been in contest prep for. So I've got that, and then I've got blood work, and just honestly to make sure that I am staying healthy, because like that is one thing I recommend for if you are gonna, you know, do do this sport long term, I think that it is important to just make sure that like your internal health is in check too. So I ordered those two things. Obviously don't have the results there yet, but as I mentioned earlier on, you know, I really want to get the results of that and kind of let that dictate what I do next, because I'm a big advocate for internal health, and I want that to kind of dictate what my next decision will be as far as like when I'm competing next. And you know, and I want to also thank you guys for allowing like me to just have such a safe place to vocalize my thoughts, because I have like no issue and I never feel afraid to share things with you guys, you know, especially with kind of where I'm at right now. There's a lot going on in my head, and like it's like I would love to compete again, but do I think that's smart for me to do? I'm not sure. So like one other thing I'm gonna do is really write down, like physically write down, not in my head, physically write down the pros and the cons of, you know, every kind of path I am considering choosing, right? Whether it's getting on stage, you know, there's a potential couple of shows I could do later this year. So, you know, if I wanted to do that, or if I wanted to take a different route, really writing out the pros and the cons of both, right? Because I think that at the end of the day, that's what I do when it comes to a lot of decisions I have to make in life. Like if there's something that I'm really like thinking hard about, and there's a couple of different options, like what I'll typically do is just write down the pros and the cons. And then if the cons outweigh the pros, then like I know that that's not the option for me, right? But moral of the story is I will definitely let you guys know what I decide, because I've shared this whole prepping journey with you guys so far. You guys have seen me from the very beginning when I started prep, and then you saw me through all of my thyroid issues and my gut issues. And like after all, it's funny to think back, like when I first started this prep, I mean, I've been in prep for a while, so I mean since December, so like it's been a long time, and you know that takes a toll on you mentally, not only physically but mentally after a while, and I think that's also why like after the Tampa Pro, I was just like I needed a full week to just kind of like be a little quiet, just kind of lay low and take some pressure off of myself. But you know, if you really think back to it, like when I first got into this prep, I was hoping to do a spring show and then, you know, do some spring shows and then like early summer shows. And I didn't even do my first show until middle of July. So obviously I had to kind of like pivot, things had to pivot. And you know, and that furthermore, I think if there's anything I learned from this, it was like, don't go into something with expectations, because that is only going to make it harder on you mentally. Like you sometimes just have to go into something without any expectations, and that takes the pressure off of you. But my moral of the story is, like I said, you guys have been a part of this whole prep, and whether I continue to prep and do more shows this season, or whether I decide to take a different route, I'm gonna let you guys know, and I should be able, like I should have a decision by next video. So probably the next video I'll put out, I'll talk to you guys about my decision and my new kind of goals and what I am going to do there. So if you've made it this far in the video, know that I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I have an amazing YouTube community, and I feel so thankful for you guys, and just feel very thankful that this is like a safe space where I can pretty much say anything on my mind. And like I think that this is almost like my virtual diary in a way. But anyways, if you guys have watched this far, thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.